Hi guys, Peppino here. Today I'm making a guide for Animate Guardian of Smiting. This build has crazy tankiness thanks to its block, 90% max res, physical damage reduction and also tons of life, plus has also an insane damage output. In this video I will explain the main mechanics of the build, going over the gear and the tree, showing how to set everything up. I will also make two variants, one that is expensive and another one that is less expensive, trying to make this build for everyone, even though the base cost is very high. So let's start with the mechanics. First of all, we are stacking life. As you can see, this is not only for tankiness, but to scale our AG's damage. We're using Flame Link that gives 5% of our maximum life as added fire damage to the Animate Guardian. Plus, if we go in the path of building, and I will leave this in the description down below, if you are curious or interested in doing this build, I will also write some notes that are pretty useful. So we're using the Grey Wind that gives to our Animate Guardian 13% of our maximum life as added fire damage. And we are pairing it with Rat Pit Globe and a Crown of Ice. This is even a further boost, so that's why we're stacking life. And then there is another mechanic that is the Corrupting Fever Automation Transfusion Support. So why are we using this? So for example, if I go in like somewhere, for example in the mine encampment, you'll see that we are losing life because we are casting Corrupting Fever with automation. So this gives our Animate Guardian souls, so Soul Eater. We get it gains a soul every 200 life spent from this gem. So that's why we are using Corrupting Fever with automation. So our AG can get like maximum soul stack almost right away. Like, I mean, I don't know how long it does it take, like probably 5 seconds. And it's very powerful. I mean, having 45 souls is kinda crazy. That's why we are using it. And this is the second mechanic. Now I would go over the gear. So we are pairing this weapon with the squire. Of course, if you cannot have this kind of weapon, this is like 1 mirror worth. You can also get one for cheaper. You can try to search some combination. For example, I don't know, the ones that you should keep are like more attack damage and elemental damage with attacks. Then you can try to search one with increased critical strikes and ruthless, or like faster attacks and ruthless, or I don't know, ruthless and critical damage. Whatever is the cheapest you can buy. And of course you should also check on the POB if the weapon you wanna add is decent or not. That's my suggestion, but of course I also wrote a little guide for the weapon in the path of building, so you should check that out. But yeah, we are using this weapon paired with the squire. We pretty much have 12 links in the Animate Guardian, and yeah, we are using it. I'm personally using it with Fire Pen with like an imbued gem, with multi-strike, pulverize, minion damage, mid shield and elemental focus. Well, now I wanna go over the helmet. This helmet is a must for this build, because as you can see it says that your linked minions take 68% less damage, and this is incredible. Like, I mean, my Guardian never died on me, ever, while linked of course. And it also says link skills can target damageable minions. Without this you can't really target it, like, as you can see, it doesn't let me. And now it does let me target the minion. So that's why it's very powerful. Plus, there is another thing. It gives an head hunter to the Animate Guardian while we are linked. So this helmet is incredible. I really suggest you to get it with increased maximum life corruption. I know it's pretty expensive. I don't know how much, like, yeah, 20 divines, about that. So you should get it this way. Also the squire, if possible, get it with increased maximum life as an implicit, because we need to stack life as much as possible. We're of course playing with a Camus art with 1.2k life, of course used with a volatile val, because the maximum technical is 1k. I'm playing with this string. with maximum life and all attributes. If you cannot find this ring with the attributes, you can fit some attributes here and there in the gear, because like we are lacking some intelligence and dexterity. That's why I put it in this ring. And yeah, like the mods that we need on the ring are of course maximum life at least 330 with either attributes, or like if you're lacking resistances you put resistances, or like if you're lacking minion movement speed, try to find one with minion movement speed. Of course this is gonna be mirrored. This is very expensive. This, like, I don't know, I paid like 80 divines. I'm not sure, I don't really remember what I paid for it, but it's pretty expensive and you cannot really craft this one. Like, it's a gamble. I suggest you to buy it like this. Going in the amulet, we have this simplex with maximum life and minions movement speed. This is where I put my minion movement speed, but if you don't have in the amulet you should put it in the ring, because it is a quite incredible quality of life having your minion like going fast, because it's like it reacts faster with the movement speed. I don't know how to explain it, but that's how it is, and it is very expensive too. Now, going on the gloves and boots, they're very easy to craft. This is the easiest possible thing. Like, you just need life, attributes, and like resistances. Very easy to find. You can even buy it like this. It's not that expensive either. Same thing with the boots, just that the boots you'll need to have a cannot be poison mod, because we are cooked, like because we are very vulnerable against ailments, damaging ailments. That's why we need they cannot be poisoned on the boots, with possibly even a chance to avoid bleeding on the implicit, because like if we get bleeding, corrupted blood, poison, yeah, we cannot really recover from that since we are using this solution of the flesh. Of course, this build can be made in various ways. I am using the Adorned to get to 90% max res. That's why I'm kinda putting maximum fire res anywhere on the build. This version is with the Adorned. I'll do another version, as I said, that is less expensive and it won't use any Adorned. It's actually probably simpler than this one, so skip ahead if you wanna see that version. Now I'll go over the tree. So I'm using of course the Adorned, as I said, 100% Adorned is worth 1 mirror, about that, with increased life and maximum fire res jewels. I have 4 of those, if I'm not mistaken, like 3. Yeah, I have 4 of those, with Dissolution of the Flesh, of course, and other jewels like this Watcher's Eye that gives me res and regen life. Okay, I almost forgot something. This is very important. So let's go over the mana encampment again. So when we are using this mechanic with the transfusion and corrupting fever, as you can see, you will lose a bunch of life and you'll need to recover it. So if I, for example, deactivate vitality, I mean, I still can recover my life, but you will need at least to recover this life. Why? Well, if you don't, you will end up with 0 life, and you won't die, okay? But then you won't supply souls to your minion, and that's pretty bad feeling, you know? Like, that's why you need vitality, I mean regen, and you need to regen this life like this. So you can always use corrupting fever to give your minion souls. Plus I'm using Melding of the Flesh, of course, for my max res, and 3 of those large cluster jewels with Raids and Pillage, Renewal and Vicious Bite, that gives the minions increase crit chance and crit multi, with also chance of dealing double damage while full life and regen. So our minion cannot die, really. Like, it's really impossible to make it die, except maybe if you are not linked to it. And I am also using a Megalomaniac. I'm using this Megalomaniac so I can have endurance charges when I block, Vicious Bite for some more minion damage. That's why I'm using it. This is not mandatory, this third node. You need at least to have this one for endurance challenges when you block. This is mandatory. The other stuff, it is not. I mean, you can get whatever the fuck you want pretty much. Looking at the ascendancy, we are playing with Gladiator. Well, what Gladiator? I mean, we're playing Gladiator just for the block. We have 96 block chance with 94.7, 95% spell block chance, thanks to the Gladiator Ascendancy that gives us a shitload of block when we have blocked recently. And we are also playing with Tempest Shield to help us with the spell block chance. As you can see, it helps us a lot. And for the bloodline, honestly, we don't have many choices. Like, I'm going with Saresh bloodline, the new boss, just for the increased maximum life node and minion damage. There are other choices that could be this node that gives damageable minion increase, like damage for each second they've been alive, up to like 150%. This is decent. But it gives also a downside, which is 50% increased damage taken by the minion. I mean, it's okay. Like, I don't think this is worth taking, to be honest. You can try it and see yourself if it works. Maybe we could go also with the Ritual Ascendancy for the maximum life, and that's it pretty much. Or I've seen people, but this is way more complicated and complex, so I mean, if you want to try it, go ahead, try it yourself. But they go with Corruption's Embrace, with 8 corrupted items, so they can have like a the Blood Barrier, which is like a another hit pool that is 30% of your maximum life. And it's very, very OP. Like with this one, I think you will never die ever, but you will need 8 corrupted items, plus you need to be always on full life, so you'll need the belt that gives like vulnerability and that says that you're always on full life. I don't remember really the name. Coward's Legacy, this one. So yeah, with this sense, you need to change the build by a lot. I mean, if you like to theory craft, go ahead, but I really don't suggest to modify anything in this build. And I really don't wanna craft anything in this build, since I mean, it's almost all like uniques or mirrored items. The only things that you might want to craft are the gloves and the boots. I could tell you very fast how to do it. So for the boots, is very, very simple. Just buy a, I don't know, armor base with fracture maximum life, and spam the essence of I don't remember which it is, the essence of delirium, till you get maybe, I don't know, if you are liking res, you get res. If you are liking stats, you're getting attributes. So you do this, and that's it, you're done. Then you craft movement speed, and there is nothing else. Yeah, actually there is some more, because you need to craft the implicits. As I said, I suggest you to get avoid bleeding and maximum fire rest if you're using the adorned. For the gloves, it's even easier. I mean, probably this, you can just buy them. It's probably faster and easier to just buy them like this, because of course you don't have to buy the same one that I have. As I said, if you are liking res, you get res. If you are liking attributes, you get attributes. Then I would like to go over the flasks. As you can see, I'm using a Progenesis, and the Progenesis works with the Solution of the Flesh, because it's pretty much 25% less damage from hits while using Progenesis, because this 25% damage from hits is taken from the Dissolution of the Flesh pool. I don't know how to say this, but like from this pool, and then is taken over for seconds in the other life pool, the one that is being used by Corrupting Fever pretty much. I don't know to explain this one correctly, but that is how it works. And then since I'm using the Mage Blood, I of course using some magic utility flasks, so in this case with elemental rest, since we are lacking a lot, with reduced effect of curses, armor with increased movement speed, facing, this one is really important if you, I don't know, want to do mapping, or like, I don't know, Delve Simulacrums with increased armor, and the last one, which is a Quicksilver with additional elemental resistances. Now let's see the AG gear. As I said, we are using the Grey Wind with Rapid Globe and Crown of Ice, and Garb of the Ephemeral. We're using this body armor for various reasons. As you can see, it's very powerful because we are pretty much immune to critical strikes, and our movement action speed cannot be modified. Plus, it gives to the Animate Guardian divinity charges, and when it reaches 10 divinity charges, it gives a divinity buff, which is like increased damage and 75% more elemental damage, which is nuts. We are using Foulborn 7 League Steps, but you can also use Foulborn Victorious Flight, because they are way less expensive, and what they give is like 12% increase in action speed instead of 15, and these boots, like for 3% action speed, I feel like it's not the same, but almost. Like those boots are 60 divines, Victorious Flights are 100 chaos, so that's your choice. And now on the most important piece of the LG gear, in my opinion. I mean, it's not the most important actually, it's just very important. The gloves. So you can see those gloves seems pretty normal. Attack speed, life, res. But then if you look at the implicits, you are seeing something strange. While a Pinnacle Atlas boss is in your presence, and then, I don't know, non-val skills target 4 additional nearby enemies. Now, you are probably asking yourself, why Pinnacle Atlas boss? Because there is a little bug, I don't know if it's unintended or it's unintended, but for the Animate Guardian, we are Pinnacle Atlas bosses. So every implicits, any implicits with this like Pinnacle Atlas bosses in your presence will work. So that's why we're using strike skills target 4 additional nearby enemies. This is very good for clearing, and also fire exposure on it, applying minus 19% to fire resistance. That's why, and they are mandatory. Maybe if you don't want to go with 4 additional strikes, you can go for 3, because it's way less expensive. But yeah, then for the gloves, you'll need a 16% increased attack speed with life and some resistances, just to make your AG a bit more tanky. Now, you can really do anything with this build pretty much. I've tried doing Delve and it works. I've tried to do Ravaged Blight and it works. I tried to do Simulacrum. I think the only thing that you can't really do is mapping, because the Animate Guardian is a bit clunky. I mean, it is not like crazy clunky, but of course it is way better to use a mapping build, like, I don't know, Kinetic Blast, Elemental Hit, whatever, because it's gonna be way faster than this one. Even if our minion has an Edante, it's gonna be way faster, because his reaction time is kinda strange. That's my opinion, at least. You can do whatever you want with it, like you are pretty much invincible. Now, I would like to showcase maybe a Uber boss. Let's do Uber Incarnation of Fear. And this shit is gonna last probably 5 seconds or something. Like, you just go here. As you can see, our minion is getting bigger because of the souls that we are giving to him. And I think it's already 45%. Oops. I forgot to put the mark on. And yeah, that's it. This was Uber Incarnation of Fear. Took nothing. I also forgot to use the Assassin's Mark, because we can either use Spirit Offering when mapping and Assassin's Mark while bossing. Okay, the loot is always shit. And yeah, this was Incarnation of Fear. As you can see, the damage is unbelievably high with this build. Our tanking is also unbelievably high, except for, as I said, the gens, because we can't really do much about it. We cannot block them. I'll do another Uber boss just because I want to show you a bit of mapping. This is Uber Cortex, and as you know, before going to the boss room you need to map a bit. I want to show it to you. I'll probably speed it up a bit on the boss fight, but just showing the mapping. As you can see, I mean, it's not slow. Like, it is not slow, but as you can see, it's not fast reacting, because it's takes a bit for the Animate Guardian to understand that he has to fucking eat minions, the mobs. Like, as you can see, it doesn't really understand. Like, in this case, he should attack, but it didn't. That's why I don't really like this build for mapping. But for delving, it's, I mean, it's very good, because like you just need to stand still and he will do everything himself. So you can see. Another boss. Melted completely. And that's it. Now that I finished with this build, I would like to show you a bit of the cheaper variant. Welcome back, guys. This is the cheaper version of the build. As you can see, something have changed and I will show you what. So now we're playing with Screams of the Desiccated with the Massive Shrine. This gives us a lot of life, as you can see. So we're not playing with Mage Blood anymore. And another change is going to be the boots and gloves. Now we can get any boots and gloves with even more life, because now we don't care about attributes, we just get life. And if you are wondering why do we have these random ass boots with Elder Influence, it's because we are using a what is it? We're using Bound by Destiny with 15% increased maximum life if 2 Elder items are equipped. We have 2 Elder items, which is the boots and the weapon. And I mean, pretty much that's it. We are now using the Ritual Ascendancy, which grants us another ring slot, as you can see. I'm still using the old weapon, the crazy one, to make sure it's fair and square. When I'll try this build now, I will remove at least 1 gem, which is minion damage, and 1 ring, to make it fair, you know. So it's like you're using a cheaper like weapon. And now this build, yes, is cheaper than the last one, because the last one was using stuff like Adorned and the Mage Blood and Progenesis and whatnot, but it is still expensive as fuck. We're talking about 500 divines, I think, because like we still use the Simplex Amulet with life and minion increased movement speed. It is very important, because without it your AG won't feel as good. It is like 150 divines. The rings are also a bit expensive. I'll show you the tree once more. Now we are playing with a Timeless Jewel that it gives us like a chance to block spell damage and 2 points with the maximum life. This is like 6 or 7 divines, and we're using it with Caspiro, so it gives us Supreme Ostentation, so we can just not care about attributes. Plus we are playing with, of course, Dissolution of the Flesh, Impossible Escape. It is free almost. We're playing with a Watcher's Side with double Purity of Elements. This is not that expensive, it's probably, yeah, about 19 divines. And we're playing with this Sublime Vision with Purity of Elements, which is pretty cheap, like 9 divines. Like I bought this for 8 divines and I just throw 1 divine to 39% increase effect. That's pretty nice. So yes, you can see now our tree looks way more cheap compared to the Adorned version. Now I would like to show you a Uber boss. This time it's gonna be Echo of Loneliness. And actually, before that, now in this build we don't care about life regen, because we are playing with Eternal Youth. That I'll show you what I mean. So Eternal Youth works with Dissolution of the Flesh pretty well, and it makes us regen our life, actually recharge our life, because Energy Shield recharge instead applies to life. As you can see, like I have a very low regen, but the life doesn't go down, so that's pretty good. So we don't have to invest in any regen source at all. So yeah, let's go and do the boss. Okay, let's go. Lonely Fragment, as you can see, boom, this Uber loneliness. So you can see the damage is still good, like it's not like before, but I mean I'm not playing without a like support and ring, still playing with the mirrored weapon, but yeah, the damage is pretty damn juicy, even without the mirrored version. Like this build is slightly more slow because we are not playing with like stuff like Quicksilver and Mageblood. Now let's try to do a bit of delve. I'm not really like deep, I'm like 350, but just to show you how the clear works with this version. And I'm still playing without the gem and the ring, as I said. That's it. So this is the cheaper variant, and I will leave the POBs in the description, and as I said, I wrote some notes just with useful informations. Now I feel like I've said everything. Thank you for watching, please subscribe. This video took a long time to make, and if you want join my Discord, I have a guild, maybe you wanna join it, I don't know, that's your choice. Thank you for watching, see you next time, goodbye.